Good morning. Well, I am up and I have just finished my morning swim, partly because I was texting with my sister-in-law telling her how it's really good cardio, and then I felt guilty that I hadn't swum all week. So two things happened. Why am I talking about zombies today? Well, three things happened. So the first is that actually there really has been a decline in my levels of anxiety, and like my kind of base level. Lots of things still make me really anxious, but that's good news. But yesterday I had a sort of sad afternoon for a silly reason, really. So one of my family members needs to come up to Johannesburg for some tests in the new year, and we were doing the scheduling for when she's going to come and what have you. And so I'm getting my tea. And the lady organizing it, sorry, I'm scattered. The lady organizing it suggested the week ending the 18th of January. And I was like, sure. And then afterwards, only once I put the phone down, I know I took a phone call. Only after I'd put the phone down did I realize that would be the 1-year anniversary of Josh's death. So I went and made the arrangements and pushed things out by a week. But it made the reality that it is coming up to a year since Josh died real. Most of the time you can see by doing Facebook Lives and writing and this little side project that I've got going on, I keep busy. Shannon keeps busy. Chris keeps busy. We keep busy. And a big part of that busyness is because it is really, really hard to think about our boy being gone. And anyway, so that's kind of the first thing. So yesterday afternoon was a really sad afternoon. And I feel sad, but also like angry with Josh for leaving us, and please, at this moment, do not start talking about, God, I can't even remember her name now, the Kubler-Ross model, because that's a load of bollocks. But I just did feel really sad that, and why Josh? Why not a million kids who want to commit suicide, or old people, or people who've led bad lives? Why somebody who was so healthy and so fit and so diligent and so filled with plans and potential? Why him? Why me? Why? What did Shannon and I do that we created a child that had this just defect that was unstoppable? So anyway, it was a weepy afternoon, and I will stop talking about it now because it's making me weepy. And then I was talking to Eb, my sister-in-law, about swimming, so I went for a swim. And as you know, when I swim, I like to listen to podcasts. And when I listen to a podcast that's about folklore and kind of ghost stories and stuff, but not really ghost stories, like the roots of ghost stories. And this morning it was talking about zombies and the living dead and kind of where those stories came from. The actual kind of Walking Dead zombie that we have today was really first came about in a movie from the 1950s, but the folklore goes back much, in different names, goes back much longer, and seems to sort of originate in Haiti, but really from the slaves and the slavery trade, and then some of the folk stories that came over from Africa with the slaves and how they were interpreted over the years, and has become this thing called a zombie. But it was making me think. So here's my question to you. If you could bring a loved one back in some form, zombie or otherwise, would you? Shannon and I have had this conversation a few times. I'm like, so, if we could have some of Josh's DNA, like a Jurassic Park scenario, and we could clone it and have like a new Josh, would be, and I promise you, these are the things that we talk about. And the truth is, we couldn't, because it wouldn't be Josh. It would be somebody who looks like Josh and sounds like Josh, but it wouldn't be Josh. It wouldn't be all the collection of all the experience he had. And Josh packed life in, you know, he did a lot in the 15 years he had. But I was thinking about it, and this morning as I was swimming, you know, it seemed like a perfectly feasible thing to do, you know, if I could bring him back to life. Obviously, we couldn't bring him back to life in his current format because he's been cremated. You know, so his zombie would be sort of a wooden box walking around, which would be, well, yeah, probably, you know, not as satisfying as having like a Josh lookalike walking around. But anyway, that is the weirdness that I'm thinking about today. So you tell me, if you had a loved one and you could bring them back to life, even if it was as a zombie, would you do it? I think I might. I'm not sure. Anyway, I have been watching, as you know, my secret hobby is watching online courses. And yesterday I wasted a bit of money actually, because like I knew 99% of the stuff that was on the course, and I feel like I wasted my $50. But one of the things that it forced me to do was go and look at when is everybody online, because I'm doing this Facebook Live, but I'm actually on my own at the moment because you are actually all busy having lives. And truth be told, most of you are actually online and on Facebook later in the evening. So I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking that next week I'm going to experiment with moving these Facebook Lives until the kind of early evening South Africa time, which will be late afternoon in England, and I don't know, morning if you're in the States, I guess, and see how that goes. What I could also do, but I have to sort of figure it out, is keep doing the live in the morning, because actually that is a better time for me. You know, for us, early evening is the time that we really get together, the three of us, for family time. But what I could also do, so I'm going to experiment with doing it and see if it works. The other alternative is to do these lives in the morning, but then do a replay in the afternoon as a Facebook party. Oh, I'm not sure that zombie is in party. Well, zombie party, you know. Well, I might experiment with that. Oh, and one final thought. Here, give me your advice. So it feels for me that it's like, I don't know, celebrating someone's death seems pretty miserable, you know. And Shannon and I are more inclined to celebrate Josh's life. So we are sounding out Josh's best friends, because obviously they have a say in this. They were there in the bad times, but we are more inclined to throw a big party on August the 13th. You know, last year Josh had a not dead yet party. So maybe this, so not this last August, the August before, had a not dead yet party. And maybe then in 2019, we'll have a dead yet party for Josh and invite his friends and our family to celebrate his life and his birth rather than his death. And I have to go now because I'm getting weepy. Okay, so next week, it's in the afternoons. Guys, please remember, please share, please like, please comment. I know I make jokes about it being my self-worth, but actually it feels really important to me to do these. It is helping. I wonder if it would help someone in a similar situation. I think it might, just to see something that's a bit lighter from time to time. And please, if you are not yet on the mailing list, get on the mailing list by the 20th. That's next Wednesday, I think. Otherwise, you will really regret it, because some cool stuff. I know it's holiday season for South Africans, but I don't care. Get it. Do Facebook on your phone, log in on your phone. You'll be really sad if you are not on my newsletter list by the 20th of December, because you will lose out on the cool stuff. Okay, I'm feeling pretty, but I have a friend coming around later, so who knows, maybe that'll cheer me up. See ya on Monday at the later time slot.